Hi, fourth graders. It's Mrs. Mundorf here with your science lessons. We're going to start today with a review from our last week of lessons, the energy of light, day 1 and 2. Last week, we investigated the path of light. We used a flashlight, index cards, and a straw in our experiments and learned that light travels in a... Pause the video and see if you can answer that question. If you said light travels in a straight line, you were correct. Here, the flashlight shows the beam of light traveling on a straight path through the holes in the index cards. This image is similar to the index card experiment we did. When the index cards were lined up, we could see the object clearly, showing that light travels in a straight path. But when the index card was moved, blocking the path, we could not see the image. The path is blocked. The second day, you watched a video of light being directed in a tub of water that had powdered milk in it. Was the visual of light in the water with powdered milk helpful? Did it remind you of the index card experiment from day 1? Pause the video and take a minute to answer those questions. Let's review the questions you had to answer about that video. The video you watched was how light travels. The first question, how would you explain that in a game of flashlight tag, sometimes you see the person and sometimes you don't? Answer, you see the person if the beam of light hits them. If your beam of light does not hit a person, then you do not see them. What was the purpose of adding the powdered milk to the water in the demonstration? Do you think you could have seen the light beams from the side without the powdered milk? The powdered milk allowed us to see the path of light in the water. Yes, I think I could have seen the light beams without the powdered milk, but it would not have been as clear. What other evidence convinces you that light travels in straight lines? Think about the previous lesson. Using a flashlight and seeing the straight beam on a wall. The experiment with the index cards, when they were lined up, you could see the image. And the flexible straw. When the straw was straight, you could clearly see the light, but when the straw was bent, the path was blocked. Now let's take a look at the text you're supposed to read and highlight. There's a fair amount of information I highlighted, which I thought was essential. Consider this information in your notes on light energy. How does light travel? The path of light. I highlighted, light waves travel from a source in straight lines. When something blocks the light, some of the light rays are absorbed and some are reflected. You can see the pencil because some of the light was reflected to your eyes. The light, which cannot pass through, called a shadow. Light always travels in straight paths. You see an object if light from that object can get to your eyes. Did anyone go outside and play flashlight tag? I thought this was a fun homework assignment and is a great time of year to be outside. If you didn't get a chance to play, you can always try it another time. We are going to continue our investigation of how light travels today. Energy of light, day 3. How does light travel? Objective, to observe the reflection of light. Key words, reflect, reflection. Materials, you're going to need a flashlight, a mirror, and I am using just a cosmetic mirror that I had. This is a great resource. You can see if your mom or grandma or a sister has a cosmetic mirror you can use. An index card. 2 paper cardboard tubes. You could use paper towel tubes, toilet paper tubes, or if you don't have tubes, you can take a sheet of paper and roll it up, tape it, And voila, you have a tube. If you don't have these materials or can't make them, just make the best predictions possible to answer the experiment questions. I want you to remember that this is an instruction video. When you go on Google Classroom, you'll have Google Slides for this experiment. The first step is to hold a mirror in front of you and observe your image. So I've got my mirror. I'm going to hold it in front of myself, and I'm going to observe what I see. I'm going to type my answer, what do I see, below this question. 2, change the angle of the mirror, but do not move your head, and again, observe what you see. Try several different angles. So I started it in front of me. Now I'm going to just move my mirror. I can still see into the mirror, but as I move the mirror, I can see different views. So again, you're going to hold the mirror in front of you. Don't move your head, just move the mirror side to side, up, down, diagonally, and answer the question, where do you have to place a mirror in order to see your own reflection? The next step, number 3, says to place the mirror on your desk or table and shine a flashlight at it. Look around the room to see where the light ends up. So you would take your mirror, you place it on your table, and shine a flashlight into it. Step 4, aim the flashlight at the mirror at different angles. Move the mirror so that you can use it to make the light hit the ceiling, then the floor, then the wall. See if you can find a specific spot on the wall to aim at, like a framed picture. So first, you aim the flashlight at different angles. So I keep my mirror flat, but I move the flashlight, and I look at where the light ends up. Then you're going to move the mirror and see if you can hit different spots in the room you're in. The ceiling, the floor, the wall, a picture. See how good you can get at hitting different objects in the room. Don't forget, it may be easier for you to turn the lights off to clearly see the light. After you complete steps 3 and 4, answer the question with number 5. What have you learned about how to aim the light by bouncing it off a mirror? After you answer that question, you go to the next slide. The directions say place 2 tubes next to the mirror as shown below. Shine the light into one tube. Hold an index card about 5 centimeters from the other tube to catch the reflected light. There's a picture below to help you understand how to set this up. On the next slide is my demonstration of how I set this up. You may need a parent or a sibling to help you hold a tube and the index card or the tube and the flashlight. The next slide is step 7. Trace the path of light in the diagram below using the arrow tool. Draw a light arrow from its source to the mirror to the index card. So you go to this symbol and go to select line, click arrow. Where does the light start? It starts at the flashlight and go towards the mirror. You can make your ray thicker by clicking line weight. You can change the color by clicking line color. So use those tools to add the path of light from its source to the mirror to the index card. If you don't want to do this on the computer, you can always draw this on another sheet of paper. Step 8. Look around your house for objects which are made of materials which allow you to see your reflection. List what you find in the space below or on a sheet of paper. So you're going to walk around your house, make a list on a sheet of paper of all the objects that you can see your reflection in. Then you can come back and record your answers on the slide or just keep your piece of paper for tomorrow. For step 9 and 10, now that you've made your list, think about what all these objects have in common. Record your answer for number 9 here in the space below. For number 10, what is this way of making straight light rays bend called? If you don't know this answer, go back and look at the keywords for this lesson. Take your time with this experiment, and I look forward to discussing the answers you found tomorrow.